Yeah, because I was talking to friends the other day. I was just like, reminding them of the super best friend cast clip of that they're reading the letter of. At least we have the three Bs that will always be good to me: Bethesda, BioWare, and Blizzard. And just
Oh,
that one just ages like the finest of wines.
man.
That person was just has probably been just
I mean, they probably did the same thing everyone else did and moved on with a lost innocence, granted, but still. Hmm. Yeah. So, hi everybody.
hello.
Yeah. Hmm. Casey's not feeling hot today, so he might be a little low energy and
Yeah,
stuff.
you know what? Welcome to the Phantom Flux podcast, episode whatever.
381. I put the previous one out today, so.
Yeah, 381. Woo!
Yeah. Feeling kind of, ooh. Because, it's like the Queen's funeral and everything, and I care just so much about that.
Don't you want to get in the 25-hour queue?
Oh, fuck. Someone did it twice. Like, they got to the front and they were like, oh, cool.
There we go.
Queen corpse.
I didn't realize it was up to 25. And why the fuck would you get in that line twice? What's
Yeah.
the point?
And they just went right to the back of the line. I want to see it again.
Do you get like 30 seconds? Or like, is there a time limit? I didn't know that.
I don't know. I assume there has to be.
I would assume, yeah. I mean, Christ.
Like,
Someone with a stopwatch just start it every time someone walks through. Oh, like
I mean, probably for practical and, security reasons, they can't let people be there for too long because they might do something.
I have a relevant went at drill tweet, which is I waited in line for 16 hours to see the Queen, but by the time I got there, she was effing dead.
Yeah, okay. That's the thing. Yeah, everyone's getting a day off tomorrow. I'm not because I'm self-employed, so fuck it. I don't care. So,
yeah, that would require the rest of the world to care.
yeah, I
The
have
world
things
is not
that
going
need
to shut
doing.
down,
So,
unfortunately. Yeah.
the most it has done is inconvenience me for my grocery shopping needs. So,
I wonder if they'll rethink that in the future because I've heard nothing but complaints about the day of mourning. Like in the modern era, that doesn't work.
mm, it's just a weird thing. Like this, I'm sure. Like it's a bank holiday, so most people are getting a day off, and I say most people because it's not mandatory. So there are absolutely businesses that are like, no, we're still open. Like my pharmacy was like, hey, yeah, a lot of our places are closing, but people still need medicine, so we're not gonna close completely. Um, but like, yeah, I imagine there are a lot of people who are like, cool, free day off, and there are also people like, no, I got shit to do, like me. I ordered takeout today because I knew I wouldn't be able to order groceries. Granted, a lot of that problem is on me for being too lazy to go outside and just go to the fucking shop. But, whatever. So I have leftover pizza in the fridge. That's cool.
Hey, there's that.
Yeah.
I don't think that's bad. Pizza's great. I should order some tonight.
Yeah. Domino's have the English breakfast pizza on again, and I am very happy about that.
What is that? What does that entail?
Tomato, like chunks of tomato. Ham, mushroom, baked beans, sausage, and probably other stuff that doesn't spring to mind immediately.
Huh. Okay. I thought taco pizza was weird, but that's
very good. It's good.
That's a new one.
Yeah. I enjoy it very much.
Well, I'm glad you have something to look forward to.
I am noting I ordered takeaway and ate some, and now I am sick, and these incidents might have a correlation, a connection that I had not considered until this moment.
Yeah, that pretty good point.
On the other hand, it is breakfast pizza, so I don't care. I'm gonna eat it anyway.
It's fine. It's worth it. Just throw it in the microwave for like 2 minutes. You'll be fine.
Yeah, 3.5. Just be safe.
You get like a piece of charcoal at the end.
The fuck kind of microwave are you using? Jesus.
It'll be melty. It'll be very melty after 3 minutes with
That's kind of a good thing for pizza. That's like, it's positive over negative.
That's a good point actually. What's the wattage in your microwave?
900.
Oh, okay, that's not far off.
Yeah,
I got 1,000, so not far off at all.
Well,
I'm fine. I have a gigantic bottle of water that I'm currently holding and drinking from.
Very nice.
So I will be fine. Fine to do work and stuff, because Patreon chapters do, as it always is when we're recording these episodes. And I haven't done it, which I never do by the time we're recording these episodes. And I have a new commission.
Nice.
Which I also need to do, which is going to be my first original work. Yay!
Ooh, interesting.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, the way to get me to do original works on commission is for me to be so worn down by doing other stuff that I'm just like, fuck it, I'm not gonna try and ask not to do an original one. I'll just fucking do it and see where it goes. Like, that's apparently how that works.
What's the premise, if you can give that?
It's a cyberpunk thing. They weren't very specific, just cyberpunk and reverse sexual morality. So the women tend to be the dominant partner in sexual relationships.
Okay. So like the
well, not necessarily dominant, but the I don't want to say the word aggressor, but you know what I mean, right?
The term
leading party.
Yeah.
The term aggressive is typically what one would normally think of, but the more
the initiator,
the more horny on main.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that works.
Sure. Why
like
not?
a Ultraman mob, then basically.
I don't know.
Oh, have you not seen that one?
No.
Oh, super good.
I only know about this from having read like a couple of fics with the premise, and they're a little loose on the premise, quite honestly.
Yeah, I actually have a friend who's writing a story like that. It's hard to keep it in mind all the time. It's very easy to slip into what is our normal as opposed to the reverse of it. You do have to keep it in mind all the time.
It's the
Yeah.
sort of thing with any setting, though. Like if your setting has magic, and you slip into being like, well, wouldn't they use magic here? It's the same sort of thing where you have to really know your setting and in one that affects the personal relationships and the development of the characters in it.
Mm.
That's like that's all up to your imagination because there's no, you know, you're not talking to somebody who has that real life experience to help you out.
Yeah. So yeah, cyberpunk thing with a bit of magic involved. I, I, if memory serves, this person that is commissioning me for this once asked me whether I knew anything about Shadowrun. So basically, this feels like them doing an end run around my lack of knowledge of Shadowrun, just saying do something that's like that.
I feel like it'd just be easier to ask you to do a Shadowrun thing, and then you could wiki dive essentially.
Are you kidding? Like, my knowledge base of Shadowrun is nothing, so that's a tall order for me to research when. This is one of those instances where it really probably would just be easier to just do something original.
Well, that's fair.
Usually that's not the case, but, you know. So, yeah, that's a thing that I have to do this week, and I want to do a big chapter for it as an introduction because I am off next week. So,
Right now?
kind of since it's new commission, I should probably start strong and all that, not be like barely anything before taking a week off. But yeah, that's oh, and I apologize for any strange noises that I might be making during this recording. Trust me, it's worse for me than it is for you. So,
That's fair.
Patience here now, by the way.
Welcome.
Yeah,
Sorry I'm late.
cool. Capcom, no, not Capcom. Sony did their state of play thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't remember anything from it except they did the God of War trailer that is the game's coming out next month. Like fucking whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Damn. That's
They
soon.
announced the state of play right after Nintendo announced their direct and scheduled it on the same day. Like hours after the direct.
Yeah. Bit of a attempt to steal thunder. There wasn't much thunder to steal, but we'll get to that.
I was going to say I don't think it's an attempt if it works.
Yeah.
They just did it.
So, God of War. I still want God of War. Amazon are bypassing the whole scalper problem by doing like a request system. So, like, hey, if you want to get a PS5, then tell us you want to get a PS5, and we may or may not send you a link where you can buy a PS5 at some point.
I've gotten about 8 of those emails. Like, if I wanted a PS5 and could afford one, I would absolutely be able to get one. But
yeah,
So,
so I
hopefully that system works.
I have put myself forward for that, and maybe at some point I will manage to get one. Who knows? Like, the price has gone. I don't fucking care. It's still like half the price of the fucking scalpers because they're unpleasant people. I'm trying to use a
Assholes.
certain word less for the sake of the delicate American ears. But yeah, they're that kind of people. Everyone knows what I mean. So I. Ugh. Anyway. Yeah, and the only other thing I remember from Sony's thing is Street Fighter 6.
And Tekken 8.
Oh yeah, Tekken 8. That was a thing. Speaking of stealing thunder. Whew.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
haven't seen. I've only seen like screenshots of stuff from Street Fighter 6, but it all looks phenomenal.
Yeah, like Tekken 8 did this like, oh, look at this beautiful rendered fight scene where it's like stormy and there's waves crashing behind and it's Jin and fucking Kazama again because it always fucking is. Uh and yeah, it's doesn't it look cool, guys? And then later on we get Street Fighter 6 and they are just going ham on their announcements and just blow everything Tekken was doing out of the water, which in fairness Tekken was just doing look at the pretty fight and this is a nice stage. So, yeah. Street Fighter are doing actual gameplay things and messing with the formula and doing interesting shit. Tekken, hey, we're a fighting game.
How insanely original, truly.
Yeah, I mean, normally that would be enough, but it's just unfortunate for them that other companies have decided to push the envelope, I guess. Um,
You know, I would say no, it wouldn't, but there have been kind of a glut of fighting games recently. So, yeah, I guess a fighting game being released at all is good.
yeah. Yeah.
I'm looking at the Street Fighter 6 trailer right now, and already I can see it's filled with so much personality and color,
Yeah.
and like I can fully buy that everything that I'm seeing is gameplay.
Do you know how many Street Fighter games I've played?
How many?
Goose
Zero?
egg. Zero. Not a single one. I was a Sega kid. I didn't play Nintendo games, and that was Street Fighter was a Nintendo game. Largely, I feel like there was a Street Fighter port, but it wasn't very good on Genesis. But yeah, so I didn't play those games at all. I want to play this one. Like, I'm down. This looks like fun.
I tried Street Fighter 4, but I couldn't get into it. But I may actually pick up Street Fighter 6 just because it looks so much fun.
Hmm. Looks neat.
Yeah, they're doing cool things.
I like the idea of a fighting game open world stuff. Like, whenever we talk about fighting games, I always bring up Tekken Force, the game mode that was basically turned into an action beat 'em up. I miss that, and
For a game called Street Fighter to be able to go into the street and just fight people.
do street fights. Yeah,
Yeah.
like even in the original Street Fighter, it was the Street Fighter tournament was the thing. It wasn't actually about street fights.
Also, for online fights, they have a fully 3D rendered lobby where you go up and just arcade machines. Which normally it's like chibi when they do stuff like that, but this is actually like they went all out.
Yeah. You can play like fucking old. I want to say it was Street Fighter games, but someone said it was like Fatal Fury and shit as well. I don't know whether that's true. I don't think it is. That's a different company, isn't it? I don't actually know. But yeah, that all looked really cool. I like the. I feel like everyone was enamored just from seeing someone do a spinning bird kick from one balcony to another.
Yes.
It's really goofy. Like, okay, in the context of a fight, it looks fine. It's a little wacky, but everyone's shooting fireballs and shit, so fuck it. But now it's like, no, you're just a helicopter when you're doing that shit. Okay.
Yeah, no, go full like suspend the disbelief. Go full video game, you know?
Why not?
Reject realism. Return to cartoon.
Well, I'm down for it. So yeah.
But yeah, I think that was they showed some cool things in the state of play, but like
It was a
um
lot of
it's
well, not
it
a
was a
lot,
lot
but
of
there were some new IPs, and so
yeah.
the names aren't sticking in my head very well. I remember seeing a couple things that were interesting, but we'll have to
It was
see
the
how those
girl that
go.
gets in the robot.
That one I missed apparently.
That was Synduality. It's a Bandai Namco third-person shooter where you get into a mech that looked pretty interesting. And there was Stellar Blade, but like these are all things that are coming out next year.
Stellar Blade, I feel like was the one that looked pretty interesting. Like that was a character action game. That was a spectacle fighter style thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one I was into the moment I saw it. So yeah, and there was another. I'm just gonna say Ghost of Tsushima kind of thing.
Yeah, the Neo developers were like, "Hey, here's Rise of the Ronin coming in 2024," and I'm like,
That's the one.
why are you announcing it now?"
Probably because they expected Ghost of Tsushima 2, and like, hey, that's a hot idea now, so we're gonna do it first. Trend chasing. We'll get back to that. Nintendo got some things to talk about there, but yeah. I can't really remember much else though.
Looking at the gameplay of Rise of the Ronin, and rather than remind me of Ghost of Tsushima, it reminds me of Assassin's Creed. Oh, I don't know about this one.
I don't know if those two things are as different as you think they are, but okay.
Well, there was a very different vibe from Ghost of Tsushima versus Assassin's Creed. It's hard for me to put into words, but I could tell from the way the combat worked and from the way the world was designed. Like they had a very unique idea of what they were doing, even if it took
I don't
inspiration
know.
from a few sources.
I'd probably just say polish and tightening up how the mechanics synergize, but whatever.
Maybe.
It is what it is. That's pretty much it. I don't think there's anything else to talk about for State of Play, to be honest.
Yeah, can I talk about the Nintendo Direct?
Yes, you can talk about the Nintendo Direct. How do you feel about farming, Zero?
Oh man, I want to play Various Daylife.
I've only seen Donkey's video. Is that
There-
accurate?
Was it 4 or 5? I feel like it was 5 different games that were heavily themed around farming.
So you had Various Daylife, Story of Seasons, Rune Factory.
Okay, Story of Seasons, before we lump that in, that is Harvest Moon. That is original Harvest Moon from back in the day, so that one gets a pass.
Yeah, no, that one gets a pass. I think it was Fae Farm, Harvestella.
Oh, Harvestella was fucking hilarious.
That was so hilarious because just like
It's
the
like
season of death is approaching.
No. It was like, okay, it's season of death and all that stuff, and it's like, now it's time to farm and rebuild and, so you can survive the harsh conditions of the season of death. And then, all of a sudden, it's just Final Fantasy or Nier style action RPG, complete with gigantic summons and bombastic orchestral soundtrack, and then it's like, try the new demo and do your first season of farming.
You know what? Sure. So some of the things, if I can find a good like in order of the things that were announced. Let me see if I can find that, because otherwise I'm going to go all over the place.
Yeah. I think the first thing was Fire Emblem
Yeah,
Engage.
Fire, Fire Emblem Engage,
Yeah.
which is
An N-Gage game, the Nokia portable gaming system.
it is a new Fire Emblem game with the artist Mika Pigazo, who does Switch Chan from FGO and loves and Bay Bale Tacos. Does the
I would
red and
never
blue?
have guessed.
Yeah, because you have the protagonist having the red and blue hair with the red and blue eyes, and it's Nintendo Switch colors. You understand? It's on the Nintendo Switch. So the premise of the game is your character's like some sort of like related to dragons or something, and like is going and getting. There's a whole war.
Okay,
And of
let's
course
say
there's a war.
it's a Fire Emblem plot synopsis. And just
Yeah,
leave it at that.
Fire Emblem plot synopsis. By the way, you can summon spirits of characters from other games throughout the series, and their ghosts can assist you, and you can also fuse with the ghosts.
Yeah. Everything else is very Fire Emblem. That is the only thing that is different.
It looks much better than Three Houses. Like, the art style and the way they decided to do the graphics and everything, it just looks so much better and so much more polished than Three Houses, which I really appreciate.
I feel like no one will care because they literally said, hey, like first thing, hey, there are 4 kingdoms, and in the middle of all of them is a neutral holy ground. And I feel like just from that intro, everyone's brains turned off because they're like, oh, it's just Three Houses again.
Well, we'll have to see. I hope it's not, obviously, but we'll have to see. Three Houses definitely. Did you play Three Houses?
Yeah, I did. I didn't finish it.
Okay, I finished one route, but there's like 3 other routes that I didn't do, and I'm like, ah. There's so much content to that game, and the stories go in so many different directions from what I've heard. So I think it's gonna be very different from Three Houses because different sort of setup. I'm just really excited that I get to summon Ike.
I think you might be the only one.
We like Ike.
I think this is a little too soon for a new Fire Emblem, to be perfectly honest with you.
Really?
Like, I mean, Three Houses came out, what, 2020?
No.
When was it?
It came out in 2019.
Really?
It's been 3 years.
But even so, like, we just had three somethings. The fucking
we had
Dynasty Warriors game.
Three Hopes, which was the Musa game, yes.
Yeah. So it really doesn't feel like they're giving that game room to breathe when they're making spin-off games for the previous one.
That's Intelligent Systems. They like making those Fire Emblem games. It's kind of like how you were getting so many Kirby games because the developers really like Kirby.
Yeah.
And that's all they do is Kirby.
It's just the principle of, hey, you need to give the audience time to miss you, kind of thing.
It's coming out in January, which will be like 3.5 years. I think that's a decent enough chunk of time.
Found the list yet?
So yeah, what was that?
Have you found the list yet? Of things?
A list of. I have a list of things, but they're not in order. So I'm just gonna go through them. Because just by some of the things that interested me, they did announce some pretty interesting stuff in this direct that made me pretty happy, which I'll save the Zelda talk for the end. But
Yes. The rich and distinctive and expansive talk about the Zelda content that we got.
yeah, I know. There were a lot of like ports and other things like we're getting IB on there, and um, we are getting for the first time we're getting Fatal Frame, Mask of Lunar Eclipse, first time in the West, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Nintendo Switch Sports is adding golfing. I didn't know that wasn't already in there. That's okay. Thanks.
Did you like Switch Sports?
I never bought it.
Yeah,
I wanted to though, but
that
yeah.
seems like the thing though. Is like it happened and
Still going to pick up Mario Strikers at some point. That's gonna go on like a. Hey, maybe I'll grab that for like Christmas or something. I don't know. Fitness boxing Fists of the North Star just
yeah, okay.
steamrolled me. That one hit me in like a truck.
Yeah, wasn't expecting that one.
No. Also, Master Detective Archives Rain Code. As somebody who likes the Danganronpa series, being able to, and was recently just getting off Isomnium files, the Nirvana initiative. More detective game, yes. It's a detective game where you can run around in the overworld, yes.
As someone who has not played the Danganronpa games, Danganronpa is my immediate reaction to that game.
I want more anime games where I go and analyze the crime scene and solve the mystery. It's one of my favorite things about Danganronpa, and that seems like a vast improvement over that. So that's because those developers they made their own studio, so this is their first in their own sort of series, which is pretty cool.
Danganronpa 5 Royal.
I had some friends freak out over Tales of Symphonia remastered. For some people, that is their childhood, so very nice.
Okay.
The Nintendo 64 Twitch Online expansion pack special ultra. We're adding games to it, guys.
Yeah.
Mario Party 1, 2, and 3 with online play. Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2. No, you can't transfer Pokemon in or out of Pokemon Stadium. Shut up.
Personally, I'm still very excited about those two additions.
Yeah, I'm excited still.
I played Pokemon Stadium at a friend's house. That was cool.
We're gonna add GoldenEye as well. Don't look at the one that's being like in 4K over on Xbox Game Pass. Don't look at that.
Yeah, you can't play that portable. I guess is literally the only thing they have. But also, you could probably play the Game Pass one on a Steam Deck, and that's probably
Yeah, so they announced that and a couple other games which are going to be released not right now, but over the rest of this year and then some of next year. The Resident Evil games are coming in cloud versions, which...
Oh, yay. That worked out so well for Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, no. Stop it, please. Just Dance 2023 edition. I can't wait to get it on my Wii.
Wait, what? Is it actually on the Wii?
They for the longest time, they still made Just Dance on the Wii. That's partially because there are people. There are like hospitals and other places that still only have the outdated Wii and will actually use that for like things like I think rehab and stuff. I don't know.
That makes sense.
There's like a use for that. They talked about hey, Octopath Traveler 2. I wasn't a big fan of the first one, but you know what? I know friends who really like the first one, so having a second one, that's good for them.
Give it a go.
And I mean, surely they're, with the first one being a pretty big hit, probably they've taken into account all of the complaints, or at least the vast majority of them, and rolled it into it to make this second game a lot better. I mean, I'm still not sure that I'm going to get it, just because it seems like an extremely complex game for someone who is a completionist like me.
Yeah.
But it still looks fun.
Yeah. I mean, it is entirely possible that this could be an Assassin's Creed situation where the first one is kind of like there's something there, but they didn't really iterate on it perfectly the first time. Then the second time, they know what they're doing and manage it a lot more successfully, kind of thing.
The words that Zomniac would use, he's been using a fair amount. Cautiously optimistic is how I would be here.
My main problem with Octopath Traveler was not only did it have a really annoying high encounter rate for random encounters. I couldn't. There were so many random encounters. It was getting actually really annoying. It was also that plus the way all the stories felt so disconnected, and I believe they do come together at the very, very end. But when you spend most of the game with your party and they only have like one or two lines that they will actually say to each other when you're in a tavern, and that's it. It didn't feel like I actually had a party,
It's a party of 8 people that are just 8 individuals that happen to be on the same road at the same time.
Yeah. So they lost me with that. Like, if they had more of that party dynamic, I could have just soldiered through the random encounters and been fine. But
it's weird because that is like the bread and butter of JRPGs is just, hey, you have a party of very defined characters that will interact in very defined ways. That's every JRPG ever. I don't know how they fucked that up. And also the random encounters thing is also something that this company completely nailed by letting you turn them off in Bravely Default.
Yeah. If I could have done that, I would have very much appreciated it. So
yeah, so it's weird in the ways that they kind of fumbled it the first time. But they are probably very aware of where they fumbled it and have improved. It would be very disappointing if they didn't.
Mario Kart Deluxe, two more tracks. One of them was from their mobile game, which they're removing the gacha from, by the way. They're stripping the gacha out of that Mario Kart Tour game.
Okay.
Which is, that's okay. I like that. Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope had a surprisingly really good showing. Like, the first one was good, and I did enjoy it, but like they really are going all out on that. Do you see any of that?
I will completely happily say that as soon as Mario Rabbids came on screen, I just sort of clicked forward a little bit.
I haven't been into the Rabbids series myself, but I have heard nothing but good things about the previous game in the series, and I'm seeing nothing but good things about the trailer. So,
yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to jump on the game right away, but if I get the chance to play it, then I'll probably find another franchise that I am very invested in.
People seem to like it. It's just not really a thing for me. I'm not into this one. That's just it. That's all it is.
Yeah. To each their own tastes. That's why there's such variety of games in the world.
Yeah.
Xenoblade 3. Oh, hey, next part of the expansion pass is coming out. Cool. It's a new character and challenge mode stuff. Awesome. Bayonetta 3. Showed more of it, and then we're like, hey, there's an extended combat gameplay trailer on the channel.
Are so mad about that, and for good reason. But Like
It's an 8-minute trailer, so I can understand why maybe they didn't want to fit that in. But I feel like at the same
five
time, you should have fit that
farming
in.
games and talking about the Super Mario movie and
They didn't
a
talk about the Super Mario movie.
3-minute ad for the Pikmin mobile game.
They didn't talk about the Super Mario movie.
Miyamoto mentioned it and the theme park.
Yeah, but that was like 30
I
seconds.
will say, I don't have anything against Pikmin Bloom, and it's a good thing to be encouraging people to get out and about and moving, and it's a very charming game. I have to admit that much. That said, I was very, very happy to see the confirmed production plan of Pikmin 4.
Yeah.
I'm very much looking forward to that. Big fan of Pikmin myself.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they showed immediately after the Pikmin Bloom. They showed footage of Pikmin 4 and announced that it's coming out next year.
Yeah.
I own all 3 of the games on both Wii and in case of the first 2, GameCube. And I also have the deluxe edition for Switch. I really love the Pikmin series.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Not as much as I love Pokemon, but I'm not sure it's a close second, but it's definitely in my top 5.
Yeah. I mean, sure, I absolutely understand that. Like, you do any, like, challenge runs or anything like that?
You might say that.
Yeah, you might say that.
The only way I ever play the game is a 0-death run.
Patient, I love you, man, but I'm totally making fun of you because you talk about that shit a lot.
It's great. It's great that you love Pikmin that much.
Yeah.
And like I still have like Pikmin 1 gave me like huge anxiety with the timer. Pikmin 2 I never actually like I enjoyed my time with Pikmin 2. I never actually beat it, and I think it's just because I rented the game and had to return it. And Pikmin 3 just I don't know, that just passed me by. So I really want to actually sit down and actually beat one of these games for once.
Like, as soon as I saw, like, Pikmin 4 is the thing they're announcing, like, Patient's happy about this. He is over the moon right now.
Yeah. I am curious, though. I mean, Pikmin 4, in all 3 of the previous games, you've gone up in the playable characters. First Olimar, then Olimar and Louie, then Alf, Brittany, and Charlie. For this one being Pikmin 4, I can't see one player controlling 4 characters, but I can definitely see the possibility of... I mean, this is Nintendo. 4 players has been a staple for a very long time.
I can see 4 players online. I could also see 2 players locally controlling 2 different characters, like with just a Joy-Con. So that could be interesting.
It could be, yeah.
So yeah,
but yeah,
very happy to see Pikmin 4 actually confirmed to be real.
I mean, we knew it was going to happen, just it's surprising that it took this long. Maybe.
Anyway, that Bayonetta thing, though, yeah, the reason for the extended trailer not being part of the Direct is probably not, like, time-saving. Like, we can talk shit a lot, and it was very fun. But it was probably because, hey, she's damn near butt-ass naked for a lot of that trailer. So...
yeah, you know what?
Yeah,
fair point.
That did get age-restricted, if memory serves, for a bit. So
yeah, and so they didn't want to age-restrict... the actual Direct.
Yeah, a full Direct. Yeah.
So that makes sense.
They cut a very simple trailer that is just the main bullet points and then did the extended one as a separate thing.
Also, Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe is getting ported over to Switch. And remade, too, with updated graphics and models and redone cutscenes, which is very nice.
I'm kind of interested in that game. I watched the Runaway Guys play it.
Yeah, it's I never actually played Return of Dreamland, but after playing the last couple Kirby games, I've been wanting to go back and play it. So I'm just happy that that's available because it's like I think it's Kirby's anniversary, so that's what they're doing for the anniversary this time around is bringing this game back. And we've updated DDD's model to be the model from the new game where he has no neck, so we've deleted DDD's neck.
That just sounds like one less weak point to me. It's a smart king.
He is now even more penguin. No more neck on this penguin.
Next game needs to show him in a tuxedo.
You okay?
Just got something caught in my throat. Hang on.
All right. So yeah, there was that. Just a bunch of other smaller games and other things as well, and ports and remakes of some old things.
The quote-unquote headlines and such.
I will say one of those actually did stick out to me in particular. Sorry. That one game, Factorio, actually really stood out to me.
Oh yeah, it's been on PC for years.
Yes. Well, fair enough.
Sorry.
No, interesting that's coming to Switch.
I like the whole colony builder simulator games as a whole, but the one thing that made that one really stick out to me is just how you can see all the little moving parts in it as it goes.
Yeah, I think that's really special. Okay, I'm going to talk about Zelda now. I joked beforehand to some people, if they just show me 10 seconds of Zelda, which they're going to show me 10 seconds, I'll be good.
Yeah, be careful what you phrase.
I regret saying that.
How is your 10 seconds, Zero?
I want more, damn it. They can't keep getting away with this.
Oh, yes, they can.
Yeah, they can. Yeah.
I understand that COVID happened and that extended how long they would need to work on this game. I understand because the way that they were previously playtesting Breath of the Wild and everything was they would get basically everybody together and they would all playtest it in groups and everything, and that's not something you can do with COVID. So their entire system and infrastructure had to be changed up. So I understand, but I've been waiting a while.
Those murals were nice, though, right?
I have analyzed those, and people are also
Christ.
analyzing them because I'm starving, and they're just giving me breadcrumbs. So it's called Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
Or Tears of the Kingdom.
They clarified it's Tears.
They did clarify. That was funny.
Tears of the Kingdom, and it's coming out May of next year. Which is a little bit later than I was expecting, but fine. Okay, I have a date. I have a date. That's fine. Stick to it, please.
Tears of the Kingdom is a maudlin title.
Yes, they have said in previous interviews that they plan on this game being a bit darker than Majora's Mask, which is the darkest game in the series.
Darker than Majora's Mask. Now
Yes.
I'm actually more interested in this.
That game had a colony drop, like, as just okay.
And you can actually see, both in the art that they revealed and also in the trailer, Death Mountain is now spewing malice. The entire Rito Village area is covered by a gigantic tornado. Everything is falling apart right now. Link
I mean,
lost
if it's
yeah.
sorry, if it's going to be like Okami, where you're going around and repairing, breathing life back into the dying land, then I love that already.
Link's lost an arm. The Master Sword is messed up and broken.
Oh dear.
Kel Surprise. I mean,
So, I kind of pieced together, per the murals, it shows 7 tier-like objects, which means we're probably going on a mission to collect those 7 objects for every
7.
video game. And we've seen huge structures in the sky, which I'm pretty sure are the dungeons, of which I'm pretty sure there are 7 of them. That we need to get in order to repair the Master Sword, because Tears of Light or Divine Tears are an item throughout the Legend of Zelda series. And
how
Spirit
lucky there
Tracks,
is
they're
another
used-
way to repair the Master Sword after it broke in a way that was not expected at all.
In Spirit Tracks, Link used the tears to power up his sword, which wasn't the Master Sword at that time because that was beneath the ocean. But I'm guessing that we're going on a quest to repair the Master Sword and go fight Ganon or something. But I feel like there's a huge twist that they're not showing yet. Because they said that the world, they were going beyond just the sky and the ground in terms of the world design.
Link
they had-
goes to hell.
You joke, but I think that there's going to be an underground section, a huge underground section.
They are
And
kind of implying that, deep underground might be the next place to go. Also, I can see why people think it's Tears of the Kingdom based on that summary of events.
And my hope is that for the underground section, you play as Zelda.
I mean, it'd be nice to just play as her for any section of the game.
Yeah, but she actually fell underground in one of the trailers. They were already underground. She fell further. So if she is going on her own journey underground and Link's up in the sky,
Legend
be
of
a-
Mole Person.
there's a huge glider you can go right on as well. You have seamless transition between going on the sky and the ground. Objects that fall off of the sky islands can have their time reversed, so that you can jump onto one of them and just literally fly up into the sky, which is a really cool way to do that. I'm really hyped for this game.
Really? You know what I think they should have done? I
What?
think in order to fix everything that's getting fucked up, they should just have Link go around everywhere and cry, and it gets fixed Pokemon the movie style.
Ignoring that.
Yeah, so I'm just I know that there's, given that we never show more than freaking 10 seconds of a single of the game, there's stuff they're obviously hiding and they're teasing me, and I hate it. Give me a freaking half-hour breakdown. Show me the HUD.
I mean, you'll probably be getting a direct that does that in the not-so-distant future.
Or they'll just not and just release it with like a launch trailer that has some more details, but they probably want, like, the entire thing for Breath of the Wild was discovery, right? You go around and find things and discover things for yourself. So I feel like showing a lot of this stuff is against their interests. They want it to be mysterious and for you to just be chomping at the bit for more information.
And I mean, it's not exactly a bad thing to let your audience experience the best parts of the story themselves the first time that they actually get to them.
The thing is that I'm actually really interested in is because Link canonically has all of his memories. You're not going to be going through and going and get the memories and getting like piece by piece cutscenes. You're going to be getting, full cutscenes and when you encounter things. So I have no idea what shape the story will take because obviously we're assuming that Link has all the memories and I'm just
realizing Link lost an arm. Which jokes do we make? Do we make the Sekiro jokes or the big boss jokes?
It's just a flesh wound.
That's also an option. We can't really discount that one. It's very medieval, so you gotta take that into account.
I hope he gets a hook shot and his arm turns into a grappling hook.
That would be awesome.
Yes.
I mean, that is the Sekiro thing, isn't it?
Yes. Give me that. I want it. I want a hook shot. Thank you.
So are we landing on Sekiro jokes then?
Go for it. Whatever the case, this problem is big enough for Link to need a whole army.
Oh my god. Oh, so tangential to Sekiro jokes, or like entirely related to Sekiro jokes, there are sky islands, so there are literally dudes that will just be high above you all the time, so you can just have that screaming guy that just comes from fucking nowhere to clothesline you. That could straight up just be a thing in the game.
That would be hilarious. Yeah, I'm excited for this. I've said that many times. Yeah, that's it as far as stuff that I'm really interested in talking about right now. To talk about myself a little bit, I got some news. I had my first observation for my student teaching this week.
Yeah,
and
I don't know what that means, but yay!
I had the supervisor that is working and making sure I'm doing a good job come in and observe me teach a lesson, and then write notes about how I did. And he said I was a natural.
Excellent.
And gave me the highest score he was allowed to give me at that time. I say allowed to because he's not allowed to give me all like 4s or 5s or anything out of 5. Yes, the highest they're supposed to give on the first observation is a 3.
Yes.
Really?
I hate arbitrary grading rules like that. It's bullshit.
They're supposed to see growth, but I got all 3s, so you know what? Means he liked it.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a perfect score, then I guess you can take it. But
yeah, I got some feedback, obviously. I'm not perfect, but he was very impressed, which made me happy.
Yeah. Good job.
And yay, thank you. So that made me feel really good about myself. I've been cracking open Digimon Survive, but I'm moving through it at a glacial pace because it's a visual novel, and I'm too ADHD right now to actually sit down and read it.
Relatable.
So I am going to go see somebody about that this week. See if I can actually get a diagnosis on whether or not I do have ADHD. And that would be nice confirmation to have. Aside from that, I got really into this horror YouTube series called the Mandela Catalog. Have you guys heard of this?
Nope.
I have not.
I like the YouTube channel, but Alex Kister. It's the creator of this series of videos on YouTube that are all kind of just telling this story of this Mandela County that is filled with or is starting to get filled with these things called alternates, which look like you and sound like you and will basically take your place. Super creepy, really good editing. Um, just sometimes I want to go dive deep into the into horror stories and their lore and stuff like that. So I really enjoyed this.
Cool.
Uh, the creator obviously recommends that you wear headphones, have captions on, and watch it in the dark.
Hmm.
You don't have to watch it in the dark, but captions and headphones are pretty good.
I will be back momentarily.
Okay. Casey is away.
Makes sense. You would want to set the mood while you watch that or listen to it.
Yeah. So Alex Kister does the Mandela Catalog. I found this through like a Wendigoon's channel, and like who covers a bunch of horror stuff. Which I've just been on a binge recently of scary things because sometimes I go down that rabbit hole of either just horror stuff or sometimes even true crime.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's
then
an
I get sick
appealing
of,
genre. Honestly, it's fun to listen to.
yeah, and then I get sick of it, and then I stop, and then I come back.
That's called burnout, I think.
Yeah, sometimes like the horror gets a little bit too real, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. Because I remember like JSC or JCS Psychology does like the breakdowns of like interrogation room stuff, and like that was always really interesting for me because he would talk about the techniques the interrogators use, and I'm like, I can use this in my D&D game.
Fair. It's also easy to just kind of get a little bored of something if you listen to it all the time. So
Yeah. You know, the spell Zone of Truth may have a lot of caveats attached, but if you are a good interrogator, it becomes a very powerful tool.
yeah, if you just, I mean, you got to make sure you're not just letting the spell do all the work.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to put in the work too.
Just you are unable to lie. Okay, now let's have a conversation about what happened the other day. And if they refuse to answer, that's super telling. That means they're hiding something.
I don't think they can not answer.
They
that
can
spell.
refuse to answer, but refusing to answer is almost always an admission of guilt. An admission, basically. Or it shows that they have something really to hide. Because if you ask somebody, are you innocent? Like, who wouldn't proclaim their innocence right then and there, you know?
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
But, like, if they can't lie, then they can't say that. So, interesting. Interesting thing. So, that's it for my week. How are you, Slicer?
Fair enough. Pretty good. It's been a pretty quick week for the most part. I was asked to pet sit for some friends of mine, and as the week progressed further, it went from like pet sitting to house sitting because they also had some plants they need watered at a very specific time, which I don't mind. Honestly, they live like 20 minutes away, so it's pretty easy to just drive there and then hang out for a couple hours, make sure the cats are okay, do all that. Watch one of the many movies that are on the many streaming platforms. Stuff like that. It's been nice to just relax in a new location, I guess. It's an odd thing, but
Well, that's awesome.
yeah, it's been pretty cool, honestly.
Do you have cat pictures?
On my phone, yeah. When I'm not actively the person talking, I can throw them up on the... Is there a cat channel?
There is a cat channel. There does happen to be a cat channel.
I vaguely remembered there being one, but I think that's one I muted a long time ago. So.
How dare.
Look, I'm part of like 20 different Discords. I do not want notifications 24/7. I have a lot of muted channels. And that's with me actively slimming down the list.
But kitties are always worthwhile.
Fair. That is one of the better things in life. But yeah, I can't really think of anything else I've done, honestly. Work is going better. We've officially moved into our lab fully, and we're about to finalize the design, so that's nice. Some dumbass decided indoor windows were a good idea in a lab that makes light-sensitive chemicals.
What?
So we have indoor windows that are about 3 feet from the hallway windows, which lead directly to outside.
What?
Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah, that is where you start boarding things up, I think, is what happens then.
Yeah, I asked if we were going to get like tinting, like the film you can put on windows to make them tinted. And apparently that will put us over budget. Film for the windows. So that was interesting. At least the hallway windows have blinds, which we can lower. Although I have a feeling that we will get complained at if we do that, even though nobody else is in our area of the building. Because I learned that the boss of our building is a dumbass. So that's fun. We had the big bosses come in and do a walkthrough of our design, and we explained what was happening and why we put the things where they were. And one of the complaints we got was we covered up the windows. So that was interesting to hear. But we're as a team, we're unsure if that was in order to move things away from the windows or if it's just complaining to complain. So it's been a tense day or so, but it was nice to as a team come together and call them out on their bullshit afterward, just making jokes together. It was nice team bonding moment.
Maybe they're playing 5D chess and they just wanted to give you something to complain about the bosses about.
I wish. That would be fun, honestly. So, yeah, I think that's me. I think that's all I've really done. Oh, right. I did watch a new anime called I'm Quitting Heroing. It's about I actually can't talk about the main character without a big spoilery. A hero who has almost never lost fights gets so powerful that humanity fears him and basically force him to retire as a hero after the Demon Lord is defeated. And so he joins the Demon Lord faction that is trying to rebuild as like a new recruit hire. He even comes to oh crap. What's it called? Google
Recruitment seminar?
Yeah, basically. He makes like a presentation out of it. It's hilarious. It's really good, actually. I've been enjoying it a lot. Okay, that's it.
Okay.
Oh, that's it. As in, yeah. Okay, that was a little confusing.
Hey, patient.
How you doing?
Hello.
Hi.
Well, my past couple of weeks have been mostly pretty calm, aside from, of course, going over the last update of This Bites. Tomorrow
Yeah, that's going up tomorrow. Let's talk like a Mona Day.
It's really surreal. 7 years. I haven't been here since the beginning, but I've been almost since the beginning, and now I'm living under the same roof as my two main co-writers, and now we're going to be turning our pens and keyboards to original works as well as other fan fictions, and it's really surreal. I mean, I know this isn't the end of the story, but still, we're getting to the point where we can mark this part as complete, and
A new beginning.
Mm-hmm. Besides that, work has been all right. Life in general, just not a lot to update. I did start watching. I watched the first few episodes of another anime the other day called it's a slightly well-known anime called Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid.
Ah.
Fair.
Handmade of hands. That's one of the very few things I know about that show.
I mean, I've only seen...
And the dubbing controversy. That was the other thing. That's it.
I don't know about that myself.
The dubbers decided to rewrite some of the lines to completely change the meaning and add some some sociological commentary that definitely wasn't there in the original, so people got mad.
Yeah, I mean, not remaining faithful through the translation, I would definitely see how that would make people upset. I was led to that by a massive crossover fanfiction that I stumbled across when it was posted on the Assassination Classroom Fanfic Rex page. I can go ahead and post it here. Computer is moving a bit sluggishly. I'll go ahead and get it down. So this is... It's a crossover between technically 40 different franchises, and it's just called The 40. It's in the middle of a slow-paced beginning right now, just showing all of the characters, one from each franchise, mostly the main protagonists, waking up in a strange place and developing their dynamics with each other before it turns into before they transition into a watching our show plot, which once again they're in the middle of the beginning, so they haven't gotten to that point yet, but I'm interested in seeing several of these characters. I don't recognize most of the franchises involved here, but I'm still rather interested in seeing how it plays out. So the Kobayashi is one of them, and so is Nagisa from Assassination Classroom, which is why I was on that page. And it's just a good story so far. All of the characters seem to be in character. And
I'm just looking at the list of these characters, and it's like a dozen high schoolers and then Spike Spiegel. Like, okay.
like I said, what's published right now is just establishing the dynamic between them. So, yeah, there's that, and not much else in the way of new developments, honestly. Just, well, not much else that I can talk about. Things are going well, all things considered.
Well, very good to hear.
Man, I feel like Spike Spiegel and Saitama would probably actually really get along. It's like, why didn't you just punch him? See, this guy gets it. Like, fuck. Yeah, okay. Alright.
This is a very interesting story. I'm just browsing the TV Tropes page right now, and it's... wow.
Okay.
I'm surprised this page isn't longer, I'll admit.
I mean, apparently it was only written after... It was written sometime between the posting of Chapter 30 and 31, with 31 being the most recent chapter.
Oh.
When I first found this page, the characters subpage had not been created yet. And the cast list folder on the main page, that is the work of yours truly.
Ah, cool. Yeah, so that's everything you said?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Yeah. Is there anything else? I don't think there's anything else. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Zero, would you like to spend another hour speculating on Legend of Zelda based on the 10 seconds that you saw?
Dude, my analysis that I just gave was literally just talking about some of the things I saw in the footage and what the game might be about.
That's
if you
fine.
want me to go on my full analysis,
I was gonna say,
I have
I feel
a
like
full
you
analysis. I could. I held back. Don't give me any crap. I held back for you.
Actually, can I just remark on one thing? I just noticed. Did you change your avatar to Cerulege?
Yes, I did, because Cerulege is my favorite Pokemon now.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, very fair.
As the video that is in the Pokemon channel, Pokemon's channel. I forgot I named it that. It sometimes things are just fucking cool, and it doesn't matter that it's goofy or doesn't especially make sense in the setting. It's just cool. So shut up.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I saw that video.
And then there's the other one that isn't as cool, so we can mock that as much as we want.
I just, I like the Ghost Knight with the 2 fire swords. It looking like they came straight out of Mega Man.exe.
I mean, Fire and Ghost, it's a typing that we've only seen once before with the Chandelure family, and it's an awesome typing.
It doesn't like spooky fire. It's cool.
Mm-hmm.
And it has a freaking life drain fire attack.
Oh, yes.
Which is super cool and super unique. And please give me more awesome designed Pokemon. Thank you very much.
I mean, we'll probably get some more gems, but I'm guessing that this is the Lucario or Zoroark of this generation.
I you know, I'm still fine with that. It exists.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine.
I'm probably gonna get not Skull. Like completely getting it wrong as soon as I said it. I'm probably gonna be getting the other one, Violet. Is that it? And just making an entirely purple team.
I'm very much interested on what the shiny is for their Legend Armor Rouge.
That's an interesting one because
That is an
they
interesting
can't
idea.
not be those colors. It's in the name.
Because it would be really interesting if they actually had a full color swap and you have a Mega Man looking Armor Rouge and a Zero looking Silver Edge.
I would love that, honestly.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Lawsuit from Capcom, but still, that'd be pretty cool.
It's fine. Mega Man was in Smash. It's okay. We have all the rights.
Man, Smash just makes you feel like all video game companies can get along if they just try. Fuck it, let's just make cool shit together.
Yes.
It's really interesting seeing. Have you guys been watching? Masahiro Sakurai made a YouTube channel called Masahiro Sakurai on creating games, where he does little videos and breakdowns of the different ideas and design philosophies behind games, and it's super cool.
That sounds really cool.
I'll actually link the channel, and you can link that in the description for the podcast so other people can look at this. But he had a whole time where he talked about stuff like hit stop and how you get good hit stop. There's a whole thing about the Game Awards. Who are the Game Awards actually for? Which he starts immediately by saying, first of all, the game that you like the best, that's the best one for you. You know, that's the best one.
That's fair enough.
Yes.
And he goes on to talk about that and how, you know, the teams really appreciate all of the being able to have that. And he did videos on risk and reward, frame rates, how you can get to other things like assigning animations and stuff. It's just really cool because they're really short videos. Like, I think the longest one is 10 minutes, and everything else is around 4 to 5 on just breakdowns of how do you do this, how do you do that, what's his philosophy on that. And if you're really interested in game design, I've actually seen people posting like on Twitter and stuff that their game development class has pulled up a video of that from his channel.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you at this point?
Yeah. That dude freaking smashed it out of the park with Smash.
Really?
Pun intended. Pun intended.
Smash you for a pun.
He got everybody. He even got Sora Kingdom Hearts. And Sora Kingdom Hearts, Minecraft Steve, and Sans Undertale, all in the same game.
It's the single biggest crossover in video game history. It'll be interesting to see if anyone ever breaks that record.
I sincerely doubt it, and
me too.
That roster has become more interesting for what companies aren't on it. Because that says one of two things. If your publishing house for video games does not have a character in Smash, that says one of two things. It says either you are an obstinate prick of a company, or you have no characters that are worth putting in this game that is celebrating video games.
Or you couldn't work out a good deal for it. Because I assume the companies get paid to have their characters included? Or do they
would assume so.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I'm just curious who gets paid in that exchange because both directions are valid.
Hmm.
So, yeah. Suck it, Activision. That was unnecessary, but I still feel okay about it because it's Activision. Anyway, that's pretty much the episode, I think.
I'd say so.
Oh,
We talked about it.
one last thing.
Yeah.
You know that Mario plus Rabbids?
Yeah.
There's gonna be Rayman DLC.
All right.
Rayman himself will show up.
I'm pretty interested in that. I haven't played much of Rayman. I've only ever played the very first game on the PlayStation 1, and I never got past Bandland, but it's an interesting game, if hard.
I feel like
I played
Bandland is the
Rayman.
place where a lot of people stop playing that game.
I played Rayman 2, but I never finished it because it was one of those things where it was a rental.
Mm.
And also, I got to a part that made my innocent little mind be too scared to continue.
I feel like Rayman's moment has passed at this point. Like, he wasn't a... He was one of the mascot platformer characters of the 90s, and that's cool. He wasn't huge, but he was successful enough, and then he went away for a long time, and he had his big revival in the 2000s, and that was fine, and didn't really blow anyone away either. And then he went away again, and I feel like it's enough, guys.
We have a shovel. We're gonna keep digging him up every time he gets buried.
It takes ages though because we find his hand first, and then we've got to try and find the rest of him. It's...
Yeah, he's real scattered.
I mean, does it have anything to do with keeping the rights for the character, or is it not?
No, I mean, why would it? It's Ubisoft in an Ubisoft thing doing Ubisoft things.
Well, I think don't you have to use a character after a certain period or something every so often?
For 70 years or something. Like, copyright is copyright. Once you have it, you have it. 70 years after the author has died, I think, is the American rule. I don't know what it is in every territory.
Gotcha. I suppose I might be thinking of somebody who's under contract. It might be Spider-Man.
Yeah. Yeah, like if it's a property leased out to another company. But then again, even like Spider-Man is owned by no, it was the film rights, wasn't it? That was specifically what it was for Spider-Man. Sony don't own Spider-Man whole cloth. So yeah, that might be it. But yeah, that doesn't apply to Rayman either because it's just an Ubisoft game and he's starring in an Ubisoft game. That's just, that's normal copyright stuff.
Gotcha.
So, on the sobering thought of Rayman's automatically dismembered corpse. Wow.
You think if one body part is too far away, it starts actually like dying and decaying?
Okay, shall we move on?
That's the only way to really kill Rayman, is how that works. You're gonna separate him out like Exodia.
Yeah. I gotta get like an edit where you have
a Yu-Gi-Oh edit where it's fucking just Rayman is coming together instead of Exodia.
Oh.
Snaps his fingers.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you for coming to the podcast.
Yeah, that was a fun one. Full cast and everything too. It's cool. So yeah, the Patreon and Discord links in the description. If you feel like it, it's cool. We have a cat channel that people should look at because it's got cats in it. You should definitely not mute it. That would be a shitty thing to do because who hates cats? We also have a Pokemon's channel that has valuable information on why Zero Edge is awesome, and everyone should just appreciate how awesome it is. Bye, everybody.
See you guys.